Oh yeah. Let's have a look here. A little looky. So, pretty big changes for next patch. Patch 14.3. Patch 14.13, sorry. A lot of ADC changes that I think will really change the meta, especially in pro play. I think in solo queue, the meta will not change that much because Varus and Kalista, who are the champs getting nerfed here, aren't that OP in solo queue right now. If you checked out my tier list already, you'll know I didn't rate them insanely high. But there are also some really big buffs that I think can really change the meta. So first of all, Gangplank getting a pretty big buff on his E slow, and it also now doesn't rely on crit. So this makes Bruiser Gangplank a lot stronger. As you can see, buffed until 40, 50, 60, 80% crit chance. It's just a buff. It's just a buff. Graves gets more E per armor, more armor per E. Pretty big buff to him as well. Graves likes to spam E and maintain it as much as possible. So giving him more durability early game should help him out quite a bit. I just need to blow my nose 1 sec. This music is a bit much. Then we have Lee Sin. Kind of random that Lee Sin is getting buffed. I don't think Lee Sin is like particularly weak. I guess the same could be said for Graves. And then Lee Sin's getting 3 health growth, which means he's getting like 3 more HP per level. And he's getting 20 more shield first rank. So just makes him a bit stronger early game with the W, while also having a bit more durability later on with the health growth. And then Lysandra Q damage up, AP ratio 5%, and WCD down by 2 seconds, rank 1. Pretty big. Pretty big. Helps her wave clear out a lot, and also makes her have a better laning phase with being able to use W more often. And then the big changes for ADC. So Misfortune gets 3 AD, which is already a pretty big buff in and of itself. And then her W minimum MS damage lockout goes down to 4 seconds instead of 5. And her W minimum MS goes to 30 to 50 by rank instead of just 25. So you know how when you like play MF, you get like a little bit of move speed and then you get like more move speed? It makes it so that you get the move speed faster and the move speed that you get is higher. So you can see here the maximum weight is also going down. So now it's 7 seconds total to go from like no move speed to full move speed. And the W maximum move speed is going up by 5. So overall, MF is going to be both quite a bit faster while also having more AD. And I didn't think MF was like bad. I thought she was like fine. So I could imagine her being good and even being quite OP, especially in lower MMR brackets. I think below Diamond, this champion is always really good. And now it might be just straight up OP. Not gonna lie. And then Orianna getting buffed, which is really weird because she's like been one of the most popular mid laners in pro play for like years now. But she's getting 4 AD, so her trades now are even better. So probably she's gonna be S+ tier in pro play again. And Pantheon W minimum damage goes up by 10, matches old rank 1. Okay, his W does a bit more damage. And then a pretty big Saya buff here. Her E cooldown goes down by 1 second, which might not sound like a lot, but for Saya, this is a pretty big deal because it's a spell that she just cares about so much. It's her main damage tool, it's her CC, it's her everything. The more you can have E up, the more useful you are. And they're also giving her E 5 more damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 5 more damage per feather, which means that like at the end of the day, if you get a lot of feathers, this will make a big difference. This helps you a lot early game, gives you like 10 damage maybe if you get like 3 feathers, because like the more feathers you have, the less damage they deal, right? And also later on in the game, this is going to give you more damage. Overall, pretty big buffs for Xayah. She does still struggle a bit with itemization, but I do believe now if enemy, for example, goes Kai'Sa on next patch, Xayah should be a really good pick into it. And then we have a brand nerf here. Passive mana on kill goes down by 10, and the E damage goes down by 20 max rank. Very light nerfs to brand. Very light nerfs to brand. And Gragas passive max HP heal goes down by 1%. Nerfs to sustain a little bit. I think that's fair. And then the Kalista nerfs. So Kalista is, I believe, kind of getting gutted for two reasons. The one, she's getting nerfed, and her main item in pro play Opportunity is also getting nerfed. In pro play, they most of the time go Lethality Kalista with Halo Blades, rushing Opportunity, and now Opportunity will only give like half of the lethality for range, nearly, like 60%. And they're also nerfing her base AD by 2, her ult cooldown by 10, and 30 max rank. And I also don't understand what this minimum damage means. Does anybody know what this is referring to? Like minimum damage of what? Of her W? Of her E? It really should have specified what it was talking about. The comment says W partner thing. Okay, her W minion execute damage was really an incentive for allies to be encouraged to play with Kalista, but the mechanic isn't really doing that for regular players, while simultaneously adding a bunch of power to her wave control when highly optimized. That's true. Okay, yeah. Bye-bye, Kalista. Bye-bye. Yeah, I think Kalista will be pretty dead after this. Her W does way less damage to monsters, which means like taking Nash and taking Drakes will be a lot slower, and her W doesn't execute minions anymore, so you push way slower, and she loses 2 AD, and her ult goes up. It's just so many things at once. It's so many things at once, you know? That's a lot of different nerfs at the same time. Even just 2 base AD, I think would have... Like 2 base AD and Opportunity nerf, I think could have been enough to push this champion out of pro play. I think so. But now, that's a lot of different things happening all at once. So... Bye-bye, Kalista, I think. Then Karthus, Q damage getting nerfed by 3. Not insane, I think. I mean, it's his most used spell, but I guess it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Cannon losing 30 HP. Skarner, Q mana cost up by 20. Q2 max health damage down by 5%. Bro, I've seen Skarner nerfed like 5 times in a row now. This champion has been nerfed so many fucking times, and it's still OP. How is it possible? Like, how broken was this champion on release? How? It just like, it tells me to think about. Because that just means that they released a champion that was in such an utterly broken state that even after repeatedly nerfing it, I believe this is the 5th nerf in a row, no? Let's see, how many nerfs in a row? Yeah, 1... 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the 5th nerf in a row. 5th nerf in a row. Holy shit. I mean, the first nerf was a hotfix, but still, that's insane. That's insane. 5 nerfs, bro. 5 nerfs. 5 nerfs. And then Q monster bonus damage on Talia goes down. Total monster damage to minus 20%. Holy shit. Jungle Talia might be dead after this. That's a way slower clear. Psych passive healing goes down. This is a nerf until level 9, then neutral-ish. And then huge Varus changes. My nose is so stuffed. Huge Varus changes. Okay, so Varus is losing 3 base AD. That's a lot. That's a lot. I won't lie, that's a lot. But what is he getting? He's losing attack speed growth. Okay, so he's losing a little bit more there. He's gaining W on-hit damage, 4 at max rank. And he's gaining W cooldown refund, 1% per W proc. The WQ cast lockout is higher. I don't really know what that means. That means maybe that you can press Q and then you press W while you're charging the Q. Is that what it means? I mean, I like the sound of that. I think that's nice. Like, that's just a nice quality of life change. And they are buffing the... Oh, no, wait, are they nerfing it? They're nerfing the W plus Q missing HP damage by a few percentage. Quite a bit early game. It goes from... Wait. Oh, wait, no, they're not nerfing it. They're making it so that the more points you put into W, the more W plus Q HP missing damage it does, instead of scaling just with levels. Makes sense. So what they're really trying to do here is they're trying to make Varus attack speed instead of lethality. And these changes will be even more obvious as we read the rest of the changes. So now, when he kills a minion, instead of just getting attack speed, he now gets 20% attack speed. What the fuck does that mean? That sounds really weird, right? But you get attack speed scaling with your attack speed. So the more attack speed you've bought, the more attack speed you would get, while also getting 10% attack speed. Right? No, wait. Am I reading that right? No, I'm reading that wrong. You are getting... Okay, never mind. Forget what I just said. You are getting, instead of just getting attack speed, you are now getting 10% attack speed plus 10% attack speed scaling, like, scaling with you. Like, okay, let's say you bought 10% attack speed. If you buy 10% attack speed right now on live patch and you kill a minion as Varus, you just get more attack speed. While on next patch, what's going to happen is if you kill a minion and you have 10% attack speed bought, you get that attack speed represented in AD and ability power. So the more attack speed you buy, the more AD and AP you get based on your attack speed when you kill stuff. Which is very interesting. I don't know if it's going to be OP, if it's going to be useless. It sounds not so bad. But it does sound like both Lethality Kalista and Lethality Varus are gone. They sound like they are gone for good. And also, when you kill a champion, you get way more. But like you can see, holy shit! Like the amount of attack speed you're losing is actually insane. Before you would get 40% attack speed, right? Now you get 4% attack speed. Wait, what? You get more attack speed from killing a minion than killing a champ? What? Or is it a typing error? Did he write about Varus? Varus? Something that has to be a typo error, no? It makes no sense that you get more attack speed from killing a minion than killing a champion. Yeah, I agree. That does make sense. Yeah. Overall, though, I think these changes will just really push Varus for attack speed. I'll definitely be testing Varus attack speed out once the changes are live. I think Lethality Varus looks mega dead. Just like, you need to put points into W now to get the WQ damage. You lose base AD, you lose attack speed growth, you lose opportunity damage. And for Kalista, I think it's the same. I think the pro play meta, especially in like LCK in China, will really change with both Kalista and Varus probably being out. And maybe we'll see more crit ADCs and probably a lot of Estral and Jhin, I think. In those regions, that's what I would assume. And then we have Dark Harvest getting adjusted. I personally like the adjustment that they're doing to Dark Harvest. They're buffing the cooldown of it a little bit, and they're removing the scaling on it, but giving you way more damage per stack, nearly double per stack. I think this is an interesting change. I think it's a good change. I saw a lot of jungle mains complaining about it on Twitter. But for me, that's the kind of reward fantasy I feel like Dark Harvest should have. That if you get to stack it, it's really strong. If you don't get to stack it, it's kind of useless. And I think that's nice that they added this. And then we have Electrocute. Cooldown goes down by 5. But the damage overall goes down. In general, it seems like they just want Domination runes to have a little bit less cooldown while doing a little bit less damage. That seems to be their idea here. And then the Opportunity nerf, which I already talked about. It gives less lethality for range now. Probably not going to be, like, just lethality meta in general. I think for range champs might be kind of dead. But we'll have to see. But it's a lot less lethality, right? It goes from being 5 to 10.5 to being 3.6.3, you know? It's pretty low. It's pretty low. So yeah, that was patch 14.13.